Hi everybody, it's Maggie and it's week 14 math linear equivalence or linear equivalence. If you can't guess, I'm going to give it away. The tune we're doing for this week to memorize this material is Supercalifragilistic, which is awesome. The new grammar that we're going to be memorizing to that song is going to be 2.54 centimeters equals 1 inch, 12 inches equals 1 foot, 5,280 feet equals 1 mile, and 1 kilometer equals 5/8 of a mile. The hand motions, body motions that we're going to be doing for 2.54 centimeters, we're going to hold up a 2 with our right hand, equals 1 inch. We are going to put a 1 in our left hand. And we're going to keep them up because when we say 12 inches, we're going to bring our hands together. And for 1 foot, we're going to take our foot and slam it onto the floor, make a big stomp. Then for 5,280 feet, we're going to do the number 5. And then we're going to run in place. And then when we say 1 mile, we're going to jump into like a big X. Then for 1 kilometer, we're just going to do a 1. And for 5/8 of a mile, we're going to do a number 5. And then we're going to have a dance party for the last part. Okay? Let me sing it first. So you get the tune, and then we'll add the hand motions in. So you get the idea. So it's going to go like this. 2.54 centimeters equals 1 inch. 12 inches equals 1 foot. 5,280 feet equals 1 mile. 1 kilometer equals 5/8 of a mile. Linear equivalence. Okay? So let's try it now. So we have 2.54 centimeters equals 1 inch. 12 inches equals 1 foot. 5,280 feet equals 1 mile. 1 kilometer equals 5/8 of a mile. Linear equivalence. So that's a fun song, right? It's a little bit of a dance party. The kids like it. So the next thing, or other way of doing it when we're introducing it in class, I always like to do a call and response before we get to the tune. So I will introduce it by reading the new grammar. So linear equivalence equals blah, 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 blah. And then we'll do the call and response. The call and response I like to do is to kind of the tune flow of sound off. And so that kind of goes like this, if you're not familiar. And it's not perfect, but it's what we work with to kind of get the kiddos moving around, because we generally start with math in my class. It goes, I don't know what I've been told. Linear equivalents are good to know. 2.54 centimeters equals 1 inch. 12 inches equals 1 foot. 5,280 feet equals 1 mile. 1 kilometer equals 5/8 of a mile. 1 kilometer equals 5/8 of a mile. These are your linear equivalents. 4cc Math Week 14. Sound off. 1, 2. Sound off. 3, 4. Sound off. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's just a fun way to kind of get us up and moving and yelling, shouting, being louder than normal, right? So we'll start with that, and then I move into teaching them the tune and the hand motions, and then we'll kind of dance it out a couple times in class. Now, that's how we do it in class. What do we do at home? Well, I'm glad you asked. One of the things we will do is we will take out a ruler, and we're going to look at our centimeters and our inches and feet. We also have a yardstick, so we'll look at the yardstick because then it has multiple feet on it. And so we start finding what the different sizes are so we can compare and see how big 1 inch is to 2.54 centimeters to how big a foot is in 2 feet. And so it's just a fun way to kind of look and actually see, and we'll draw lines to show what a centimeter is compared to an inch, compared to a foot. So that's one fun way to practice it. We also will do copy work where I will have then just write it out. One of the fun ways we've been writing it out recently is taking a whiteboard marker and writing it on our sliding door. They just enjoy writing on something that's different than a piece of paper. And if that works for them and they'll write it that way without having any sort of complaints, because we've all been there, then I will go for it and let them write with the dry erase markers on my window. So that's been a lot of fun. We also do Write the Room, where I will have the different things written out and they have to go find it around the room, and when they find it, they write it on their answer sheet. I will post that below if you want to give that one a try. The other thing we do is I have a bunch of flashcards that have each week's memory work listed out on it for math, and I will leave it on one side of the room, especially once we get to week 12. From week 12 on, where we have a little bit shorter things and we're not just doing math facts, we can take a card and say linear equivalence or liquid equivalence, and they will then have to tell me what the answer is, or they will have to write it on an answer board, or they have to go and search. We have scavenger hunts a lot. My kids just like scavenger hunts, so they'll get the question and they have to go search, almost like in fish, go fish, like go find the answer within the pile, and then bring me both the answer and the question back, and whoever can make the most matches wins the game. We've also done that as memory, where I have especially when we add a couple more weeks to it, we will have all of the questions that tell me what are the linear equivalents, and then the answers, and they are kind of face down for memory, so in rows of like 3x3 or 4x4, and they will turn 2 cards over at a time until they can find the matching question and answer, and when they do, then they get a pair and they win. They get that match, and they keep going until they have the most matches, and then that person wins. So those are just a couple of ways that we practice our math facts for this week. I'd love to hear what you guys do at home and in community, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one.